you, Romeo Busiko. Indeed, this is the electoral process. The electoral process is already on. Yesterday we saw the election of those youth leaders at the parish level, but already the Electoral Commission have been around here and seen different people doing a lot of work as they prepare for the next year's elections. But I want to understand the scorecard. What's the report like from the Electoral Commission as per the elections that were held yesterday? And to help me navigate through this is none other than the acting spokesperson of the Electoral Commission, that is Paul Bukenya. Good morning to you, Paul.
Good morning, Stephen, and good morning, Romeo, and the viewers.
Okay, just take us through. You had an election yesterday that you conducted in over 10,000 parishes. Just bring us to speed. What's the report like from you on your side?
Yeah, actually, Stephen, the elections for special interest groups at the parish level started on Friday. We had elections for older persons, committees at the parish level. Then on Monday 31st, we had elections for persons with disabilities. And then we also had elections yesterday for youth committees at the parish level. So this is the category of special interest groups that we're talking about, basically. And we have 10,027 parishes across the country. And we've had these elections successfully conducted in those areas. Now, these are special interest groups, and by electoral colleges, and probably some unique issues come up with special interest groups. During nomination, we noted that some areas went unopposed. You know, there is a lot of consensus in electoral colleges. But perhaps that's why you do not take so much notice of the other levels, persons with disabilities and older persons. But yes, the youth elections are more visible because the youth are also the biggest group among the special interest groups.
They constitute the biggest number of people.
Yeah, they register almost had 7.7 million registered youth for this election, compared to 1.7 for million for older persons, and almost 0.4, if that's 400,000 roughly, for persons with disabilities. But yesterday we did have those elections. They were conducted countrywide. In those areas where they were contested, like I said, sometimes there's consensus in the colleges, and you end up with unopposed candidates where you do not have elections. So as Electoral Commission, we are looking at it at that level, where we're able to organize the elections in all the 10,027 parishes across the country, and the answer is yes. And the reports, of course, are now coming in to show how each place performed, and where probably, like you've seen and noted, the few cases where we had, we will not conclude, and where we have to possibly repeat that today.
So, but those areas where you have to repeat the elections today, they were shining, especially in Kampala and Wakiso. We saw these cases. What do they tell you about the preparation and the organization of the elections?
The preparation and organization of these elections is clear because it's guided by the law. This is Electoral College, and that's why we're able to resolve many issues, because yesterday we had many issues. When someone hears that we're now going to have elections for youth at the parish, and you're youth, you say, let me go to the parish level. But of course, being Electoral College, you have to take them through that. No, at this level, the only people who are going to participate in the elections are those who are elected at the village level. So the 9 members from each village committee times the number of villages in the parish, that's our Electoral College. So then there you are able to create understanding. Oh, while I'm a youth, I do not participate in these elections, because now the Electoral College has become smaller. So we're able to address that, and guided by the law, and you know, create understanding that yes, you are now represented. This is an Electoral College, so you cannot participate in this election, and for that purpose, please, can you leave us to do our exercise? And in some areas, we had that understanding, but we saw that in some areas the registers were contested. Why would you contest the register of the Electoral College? The register has strictly those 9 members who are elected from the village, times the number of villages. If there are 4 villages in a parish, those are 36 people who are supposed to be the Electoral College to vote in this election. So those are the dynamics that we had to work around with. And perhaps it's because some of those issues were in urban areas and they were near us. That's why probably they got visibility. But we resolved most of those issues. And I think we just have a few areas compared to the 10,000, really.
Okay, but some of the candidates and some of the supporters were complaining that there was fading of supporters. How are you sure that this time around, when you organize them again today, there will not be such complaints and concerns?
I do not know. Perhaps it's because maybe we need to engage more, because in an electoral college, like I've sampled, if a parish has 9 villages, each village has brought 9 members, and the electoral college has 36. How do you ferry supporters? How do you do that? I think young people need to realize that the nature of the election and how it progresses, and allow it to progress up to the national level. The electoral college becomes smaller. I do not see where ferrying of voters comes in, because the voters are only 36 in the case that I've used. It's a small college. It has become smaller. Or if the number of villages times 9, that's the electoral college. So I think some of it is, of course, some people need to boost their morale. And that's why you saw a number of, crowding. But the real voters being 36. So there's need to engage them more and perhaps do more voter education within the circles, so that they respect the structure as it progresses. But for the next level, the sub-county, the college becomes even smaller. The number of parishes within a sub-county, or the municipal, the city division, the municipalities. So we're going to reach out to them, especially the leaders, because they're the ones who mobilize these people to come in on polling day.
But are you sure there are no mistakes that you could admit for now from your part as the Electoral Commission, that maybe from your side you fell short of some of the processes?
Well, I think the issues probably, we'll see what reports come in, but the officers were trained to, the compilation of the register went through a process, because it is so easy and so simple. 9 people elected at the village automatically go to the register for the parish. They become the electoral college. Unless maybe when there is a dispute over one of the elective positions at that level, maybe that's where the disagreement would come from. Or maybe when there is the conduct of the electoral official. Otherwise, the guideline for electoral college is very, very clear. And these issues shouldn't arise, because the college is so clear. That's the number of people to participate, and they should be the ones to participate.
Let's speak to many of the youth who constitute the majority of this population, who are now watching you here on NTV. These are the young people who will also participate in the coming election, that is 2021. Sure. What should they pick from this? And you, as the Electoral Commission, how are you planning to deal with them? Because now they were working on a small level, but now they're going to be participating in a general election that will be across the country and from villages, sub-counties, and the district. How are you ready to work upon this?
Yeah,
I mean, the violation, the hooliganism that we saw in some parts of Kampala and Wakiso.
Yeah, especially urban areas, of course, they'll be given attention. But countrywide, we saw compliance with the guidelines, first of all, for the conduct of this election. But of course, young people being the biggest special interest group, and their elections, there was some excitement. It generated more excitement than the other levels. But we also saw compliance with the SOPs, the standard operating procedures for the conduct of these elections. That is the social distancing, because we have images. But we also saw total non-compliance, where the SOPs were totally ignored, and I think in the heat of the moment here, they got excited and just threw all caution to the wind, which is not good. I think we need to remind ourselves that we should take caution as we participate in the electoral process. We have put up these SOPs to facilitate safe, participation in the electoral processes. So we've noted some of those issues. They are of concern to us, and especially in the urban areas, even up country, because I don't want to just... They did happen in some areas where I think the excitement, I want to vote and go away, because elections are also taking place on a working day. We can't get weekends for this. There are many elections that are going to help us to hold as we progress up. So all people coming at the same time and saying we want to have the elections held so that we go and work, which is probably understandable, but then you need to be cautious. At the same time, you've chosen to participate in the elections, follow the guidelines. So we've noted those issues, and we want to keep the young people healthy, because we want them alive on polling day for the general elections. We want them to go beyond the elections and achieve their dreams and serve this country and other
Let's
things
talk
like
about
that.
also the demarcation of these new counties and constituencies. You were supposed by, according to your roadmap, by close of business tomorrow, you're supposed to be winding up the demarcation. How far have you gone with this process?
The field activities are going on well. Field activities mainly comprise of meetings. We are doing meetings. We are basically holding meetings. Our teams have gone with the data that we have on our systems, and they've gone to hold meetings with the district technical committees. This is a purely technical engagement, and this includes the chief administrative officer and their district planning units. The meeting involves meeting the CAO, of course, the district planner, and other persons who are involved in managing the administrative units in the districts. And the meetings are going on well. We've gotten feedback. They are meeting, and we'll be able to conclude on time because we sent out enough teams. We're involving our returning officers in the districts as well as our regional supervisors, and members from here, the Electoral Commission, went down to the field. So these meetings are we were looking at the administrative units which are in the counties. The administrative units, we mean the parishes, the wards, and then, the municipalities, and helping to define their boundaries, that yes, this place passes here by the riverside, that is the boundary at the mountainside or the hill. And after that, we'll come here and confirm our data and then gazette the areas that will be represented in the next
Okay,
parliament.
as we move forward to 2021, at which process are you, which stage are you? We heard that you are also looking at who will be supplying the ballot papers. Which stage are you at now?
The roadmap is rolling, certainly. We are now doing the elections because, as you know, the special interest groups elections will progress up to the national level, and they will help us to get delegates who will go into regional conferences.
The ballot papers?
That will elect members of parliament. Then other processes are going on, the procurement process for ballot papers, the nomination dates. The procurement process is still on. We've not yet awarded for ballot papers. Then, of course, the nomination dates, 21st of September is going to be nomination for local government councils up to the 1st of October. Parliament is on 12th and 13th of of October. Then presidential is 2nd and 3rd of November. And already about 65 aspirants have collected nomination forms from
65?
65 aspirants. And the parties, of course, are preparing their primaries. So I think the roadmap is really rolling, and you can see that activities are visible. We're also preparing ourselves for the elections.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Kenya, the acting spokesperson of the Electoral Commission. Wow, 65 aspirants vying for the top seat. That's the office of the president. This is Morning at NTV. Thank you for being a part of us from 6:30 up to now. Thank you, Romeo Bosiko, who was there with you. And of course, from me, Stephen Ibido and Fefeso Chibuga, and on my behalf, as well as on behalf of the technical and production crew, we say thank you and wish you a blessed Thursday. But remember, tomorrow when the NRM when they go for their primaries, we shall be live here on Morning at NTV to update you on what will be happening then. Thank you so much, and we sign out for now. Faida Nakas will be on at 9.